New tonight at 10, in Clinton, the Cain family is speaking publicly for the first time since January's blast at ADM left Adam injured and took the life of Lieutenant Eric Hosette.
They sat down with KWQC Sarah Jones today and said when news spread in town about the blast, they didn't think Adam was on shift.
When the fire broke out at ADM, Adam technically was not supposed to be on call.
I knew that it was shift change, and you know, they try to get the last shift out of there as quick as they can, but it doesn't always work, especially when there's a fire, because, you know, the more hands, the better.
His parents had heard about the blast at ADM, but based on the time, around 6 a.m. on Saturday, thought Adam was asleep at home. They went by his house to ask if he had heard what happened.
His truck wasn't in his garage, and then you get that gut instinct that something's not right.
Then we got a call from pasture lot telling us that there had been this accident and that Adam was hurt.
I don't remember the incident itself, but the last thing I remember is me and Eric, me and Lieutenant Hosette being on top and moving the hose around. And then I remember waking up and I had no idea where I was at, why I was in fire gear, and I knew that I was in an intense amount of pain, and then I quickly lost consciousness again.
Then when they were able to get him stabilized enough to put him on the helicopter, they did stop and let us come over and see him, and I was able to kiss his forehead before he was placed on the ambulance or on the helicopter.
Adam's brother is a firefighter with Clinton. He was out of town when he received the news. He rushed to Iowa City and arrived at the hospital and watched as the helicopter landed.
And everything was heavy. At that time I had heard there was a fatality. I still didn't know who. But you're just going through emotions. Not only is it a coworker, I lost a coworker. Another one was injured, but it's my brother. At the hospital, I felt like I wasn't able to be there with the guys at the fire department like I should have been. However, I knew I wasn't going to leave the hospital. I couldn't leave Adam.
Adam's initial state was so fragile that doctors told Kevin and Lynn not to touch their son.
That's probably one of the most difficult things as a parent. It was a real feeling of helplessness. There were times that Lynn will tell you that it almost made me physically ill just to be in the room to see it.
A major milestone was when Adam was finally taken off the ventilator.
He asked where Eric was. He asked what had happened, the typical how long have I been here type of stuff.
At doctors' advice, the Cain family waited to tell Adam what had happened until he was physically able to take the news.
I instantly became extremely nauseous and sick. I didn't understand why, that would happen.
Doctors told him no matter how much pain he was in, he had to push through in order to heal.
My family, my community, my coworkers, I knew that I had to get better. It wasn't an option not to give up. A laceration on my liver. I broke my radius and ulna in my right arm. I dislocated my left elbow, and I have some pretty intense nerve damage of my hand. I can't really use my hand all that well in my left side. I had a small bruise on my brain. I had a collapsed right lung, multiple broken ribs in the front, compression fractures in my back, multiple ribs broken in my back. My kidney was lacerated. I had a bruise to my heart. I tore multiple ligaments in my elbow.
A second milestone in Adam's recovery is when he took his first steps.
It was amazing. Of course, being the mom, I had to videotape it like when they take their first steps, but it was amazing.
Adam's undergone 2 surgeries on his arms, and his ribs are still healing. But firefighting is in Adam's blood.
As a kid, you always want to see where the lights and sirens are going, and the fire station being right down the street, and growing up and watching my dad go by in a fire truck with the lights and sirens going, it's like, I want to do that.
So can we expect Adam back at Central?
Absolutely. The Clinton Fire Department is a job I want to retire from, and the city of Clinton, they were there for me, and I want to be able to, continue to be there for them.
Now, the Cain family says they have been overwhelmed by the community support. Later this week, we'll have what Clinton Strong means to the Cains and how Adam felt when he returned to Clinton for the first time.